Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be talking about massive news of how Hedera could be at the center of a $1.2 trillion industry. So I recently came across a tweet provided by Danny Eid on Twitter where he highlighted to a video published by the Diamond Standard, where the Diamond Standard YouTube channel went into detail and provided a webinar surrounding their application. So near the end of the webinar, the organization actually hinted and provided details as to how they use Hedera's consensus service for their tokenization of diamond goods.
The question is from Stephen McCreary. Do the high Ethereum gas fees increase the cost of transactions? No. We actually solved that. So when you hold your commodities at Brinks, and therefore you have a token that you can trade, you're actually trading what's called a Hedera token. It's on the Hedera blockchain, which is the one we chose because it's very, very well governed and regulated and very inexpensive and extremely high performance. We highly recommend the Hedera blockchain, and they didn't pay us a penny to put our technology on there. But because all of our tokens are Hedera based, Diamond Standard pays all the gas. So our customers who do transactions in the token on our spot market, they don't pay any transaction fees whatsoever. Now, if you take your tokens out and trade them somewhere else, you're still trading them on Ethereum. But what some people have done on Hedera, but what some people have done is that they wrap their tokens in an Ethereum wrapper, and then you would have to pay whatever the Ethereum gas fees are. But you're only paying them on a token transaction, so they're actually quite small, on the order of maybe 25 cents, not $20, which they have been in the past. Okay, looks like that's the last question.
So Diamond Standard is one of the largest and is the only regulated diamond commodity exchange trading platform. And this industry so the Diamond Standard actually opens up investors to a overall $1.2 trillion asset class. And again, this organization is the only regulated diamond commodity trader in the US. So it's quite a significant company and is very unique too. And it's quite impressive how this organization has utilized Hedera's network into their overarching infrastructure. So I thought this was a very interesting partnership and a quite unique partnership as well. So yeah, another partnership Hedera is directly associated with. So with the organization potentially being at the center of a $1.2 trillion asset class as provided by the overarching diamond industry, this could have reverberating effects, especially if the organization's success increases over time, where Hedera is already one of the fastest networks on the marketplace and validates the most transactions compared to all other DLTs on the marketplace, where currently the Hedera network averages almost 100 million transactions a day, and all of these transactions are all backed and based by huge real-world use cases and developments. So Hedera is again way ahead of its competitors in terms of total transaction validation capacity, where in total over 17 billion transactions have been verified on Hedera's mainnet, and all of these transactions are unique. So unlike other DLT networks on the marketplace, the transaction capability of such networks can be quite inaccurate, especially as nodes in such networks communicate with one another, and these are typically deemed as a transaction. However, this isn't a transaction which leads to any real utility, whereas the vast majority of transactions which have occurred and have arisen on the overarching Hedera network is of effective and useful utility. So this article here from Archaea is a nice representation of how quick and how effective the Hedera mainnet is in regards to transaction validation, and how speedy and how excessive the amount of transactions are occurring on Hedera, and how this is all encompassed with Hedera's high TPS and its other features, including its cost effectiveness. It makes no surprise if we look at all of these characteristics, especially in terms of its transaction capability. A lot of these developments are associated with some of the largest organizations in the world, including Hedera Governing Council members, Avery Dennison, Google, and a few other organizations within the council, and even Shinhan Bank, all actively utilize Hedera's network for transaction validation capacity, where the utility of Hedera's network by these esteemed organizations is only beneficial for Hedera's network for transaction verification, and adds to the ever-growing number of transactions which occur on Hedera's network on a daily, weekly and monthly basis, and in total has led to Hedera becoming the most widely utilized network on the marketplace, and will continue to be the most widely utilized network on the marketplace, especially as more organizations choose to harness the benefits Hedera's network provides, and more potentially Hedera Governing Council members utilizing Hedera's consensus service for further initiatives and utilities. So all around very exciting for Hedera and for the specific organizations which harness Hedera's innate qualities and features. So this is another really good graphic which indicates another desirable feature of Hedera's network in its green utility and characteristic, where, as the graphic illustrates, Hedera produces 1,000 plus times less energy compared to Visa per transaction. So with Visa being one of the largest payment protocols around the world, but despite it being highly utilized, it's still relatively inefficient compared to the likes of Hedera. And Hedera rivals the Visa network in terms of TPS. So over the long run, you could potentially see the likes of Hedera and other competitor DLTs becoming more ideal and chosen rather than payment protocols including Visa and MasterCard by organizations, individuals, or even nations. But time will tell, and especially when the DLT industry becomes more mature, the likes of Hedera and more DLTs could be utilized into more initiatives and infrastructures around the world. So this is another good diagram provided by UCL, the university, which is also a Hedera Governing Council member, which gave a more scientific illustration of Hedera's network energy consumption per transaction. And as you can see here, Hedera's right at the bottom in terms of its energy consumption per transaction. And this is in regards to the utility of Hedera's network at a range of 1,000 to 10,000 TPS per shard per transaction. So extremely exciting for Hedera, and another intrinsic quality which makes Hedera a highly attractive proposition for not only large organizations but even for local businesses or even a nation. So another article I'd like to make you aware of is from Arkia, well, a thread put together by Arkia on Twitter, where they stated to the benefits of Hedera's tokenization service and how the benefits of Hedera's tokenization service has led to a number of world-renowned organizations and just general organizations using Hedera's network for real-world utilities, and in turn the tokenization of real-world assets, where the thread continued and indicated to how the tokenization of assets through the utility of Hedera's network will lead to higher TPS, which in turn will potentially drive up the price of HBAR and the overall utility of the Hedera network. And the thread also concluded and mentioned to how, again, tokenization will potentially generate and lead to further value being locked within the Hedera network, and possibly billions more dollars moving into the Hedera network. And this will spell good news for HBAR token holders, as the wide-scale utility of Hedera's network, and as more organizations use Hedera's consensus and tokenization service actions and the validation of transactions which occur and arise between these protocols, will see increases to the demand for HBAR, where HBAR will act as gas to verify transactions and the authorization of payments on the overarching Hedera network, including consensus and tokenization, and in turn the price of HBAR may see synonymous increases, especially over the long run, and as the utility of Hedera's network increases over time. So this is a landing page on the Hedera website, where the landing page goes into further detail and depth in regards to the tokenization of assets on Hedera and the benefits of tokenization on Hedera compared to other DLTs, where initially the landing page detailed to the cost effectiveness and the low predictive fees surrounding Hedera's network and the utility of both Hedera's consensus and tokenization service. Most notably, it costs less than 1 cent to transfer any sum of tokenized asset on Hedera, and again, all of these assets will be locked on Hedera's tokenization service. So this is in stark contrast compared to other DLTs, including the likes of Ethereum, where if one wishes to mint a token on Ethereum, these fees will be a lot more volatile and they won't be fixed. So this is the main reason as to why the initial organization we mentioned, Diamond Standard, chose to harness Hedera's network rather than Ethereum's network, where during the presentation, the member of Diamond Standard stated as to how the organization's utility of Hedera's consensus and tokenization service will see the organization minting tokens and the verification of transactions amounting to a few cents, rather than if they chose Ethereum for their tokenization engine, it would cost potentially $20 per transaction. So there's a stark difference in regards to the tokenization of assets on both Ethereum and Hedera, and this could potentially lead to more developers and more organizations moving away from the currently most widely utilized DeFi application in Ethereum and moving their assets and developments to Hedera. But time will tell. But it's extremely exciting how some organizations, including prestigious organization in Diamond Standard, have incorporated their use cases and utilities onto Hedera's consensus service and tokenization service. So this is another eye-catching feature surrounding the innate qualities which makes Hedera very attractive and ideal for a number of initiatives and developments, including payment infrastructure, where Hedera's network is low in terms of the validation of payments on the overarching tokenization service. It has high degrees of immutability, so there's a lower risk of tokenized assets being corrupted or stolen, and it's widely used for supply chain actions. So this means that token assets can be exchanged between varying financial bodies or even between different DLTs, especially due to the rolling out of the HBAR protocol, which enables tokenized assets native to Hedera to be passed to other DLTs, including Ethereum and Polygon. So it indicates the wide scale versatility offered by Hedera, and in turn more developers and or even individuals may harness the benefits of Hedera rather than other DLTs, which are generally more utilized. And this is all encompassed with the energy efficient nature, as we mentioned, in regards to Hedera's consensus service, where, as provided by the report by the Hedera Governing Council member UCL, Hedera is the most energy efficient network, be it DLT or legacy based, in the world. So a number of innate qualities and characteristics which makes Hedera a highly attractive proposition for real world utilities, especially over the long run. What are your thoughts on Hedera? Are you bullish on Diamond Standard's association with Hedera? Let us know your views in the comments below. Thank you for watching Crypto Clan. Don't forget to like, subscribe and click on the notification bell. Let us know your views in the comments below. Thank you for watching and we'll see you in the next video.